doing?
Good. I'm Benji of laughingplace.com. It's nice to meet you.
Easy.
So congratulations on what turned out to be a very buzz-inducing performance in Cruella. So what was your reaction when you found out you were going to get to join the world of Cruella de Vil?
Oh, it was just unparalleled excitement. I've never done something on this scale before, and it was just I couldn't quite believe it. I think I still can't quite believe it.
What's interesting about your character is him and Cruella or Estella are kindred spirits. They have a very, of a devotion, a passion around fashion and being themselves as the movie evolves. How did you make your character so dynamic, yet still not overshadow, the Cruella-ness of Cruella, yet still be on the same sort of path?
I think when you're an actor, you becomes like a sixth sense, sort of just feeling the energy of the room and sort of letting that feed you. And there was certainly a certain amount of when you're in that room with Emma Stone and she's acting alongside you, you can't help but just sort of pick up what she's doing and mirror her slightly. And I think that he is a wonderfully dynamic character, but those things should always be played subtly, in my opinion, because I think especially on film, it can become too big. So I just tried to, and it's such an intimate scene, there's only two of us in the shop most of the time when we're talking to one another, that it would have been slightly strange to do anything too flamboyant or too big or too distracting, because you wouldn't necessarily do that in real life.
And what's interesting to see the reaction to his characters is he's one of the few new characters in the film. I mean, you have Cruella, you expect Roger and Anita and Horace and Jasper. What role did you have into creating a brand new character into the world we've known since the 1960s of the 101 Dalmatians sort of storytelling?
It was a really, really collaborative experience with Craig, and there was lots of improvisation on set, and that's always really fun, terrifying but fun. I think a lot of it was on the page though, in terms of Artie as a character. I think they knew what kind of character they were trying to portray, and I think I just came in and sort of maybe did what they were looking for.
Yeah, some of my favorite moments, without giving anything away, are when Artie interacts with Horace and Jasper, because they're not, Cruella, he just feels comfortable and is himself. And Horace and Jasper, you can see that he doesn't quite know where he fits in with the gang of Cruella. Like, it's his family, but it's not quite. And I think that provides more insight into Artie than we would have gotten if they wouldn't have been.
I think if we were to speculate on afterwards, I think him and Horace are great mates now. I think there was definitely and I think they were all one big sort of family of misfits, and probably more have been added since.
And I mean, not to give anything away, but the film does create a family of 4 humans and 2 dogs, through their adventures. Do you hope, even if it's just in your head, to have more stories of what happens after the sort of origin story that's told in this film?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be definitely interesting to see. I think it's, like you say, not to spoil anything, but it's left open in a way that you could really go anywhere and do anything with it, but you also feel completely satisfied at the end of the movie, like you've been told an entire story. It doesn't leave you thinking that anything's unsaid or undone. So I think it would be wonderful to see where those characters go, and also perhaps could be one of the worst ideas, one of the best ideas, but to see, because it's set in the 70s, such an iconic period of time, and things change, visually things change, and she's a fashion designer, so it'd be really interesting to see how she evolves in her craft.
And for your character, Artie, he has a wide range of fashion in the film. Can you talk about what it was like to wear all those amazing costumes?
It was wonderful. It was so exciting to go into all those costume fittings and try on all the amazing stuff that Jenny Bevan had found or made. Or she is just, I mean, there's no one quite like her, and her attention to detail in every single character in this movie was astounding. So it was honestly, it was one of my favorite parts of the day, getting into makeup and getting the costume on, because you really feel so dropped into a character. It does such wonderful things for you as an actor. And obviously the majority of the time when you do jobs, you are wearing relatively normal clothes. So it was a real tool to have in the back pocket, was in helping you get into character, for sure.
And just to wrap up, the the early social reaction has come out, already of the film. And if there's been one sort of thing that's been a common thread in addition to the, Emma's outstanding performances, it's the surprise of meeting your character. You haven't been on the posters, you haven't been, front and center as to be expected, just because, you're a new introduction midway into the film. What has your reaction been to the overwhelmingly positive reaction to your performance?
I haven't seen it. I don't know. I stay away from all that stuff. So it's lovely to hear, but I didn't know that was even happening. So, but that's nice. I'm glad, because I think he's wonderful, and I think he's great, and I think he's a joy to play and a joy to see on screen. And hopefully, hopefully when the film comes out officially on Friday, people will really enjoy him, because he's a nice bit of lightheartedness in the film, for sure.
Well, congratulations. Just on the reaction alone, there's more great things to come from you in the future, and we look forward to seeing
Thank you.
And
thank you very much.
And look forward to seeing Cruella on theaters on this Friday, as well as Disney Plus with Early Access.
Thank you, and I love your your nod to Dalmatians in this shirt. It's great.
Oh yeah, my spouse made me buy this at Disneyland a couple weeks ago. So
great, amazing.
Thanks so much, John.
Thank you.